We're super pumped you've invested in a Better Extractor kit so that you can harness the insane power of your wet, dry shop vac, converting it into a powerful extractor that can tackle some of the toughest stain jobs. Now that you have your kit, we want to make sure everything runs smoothly. In this video, we'll cover 4 sections. Number 1, setup. Number 2, troubleshooting. 3, how to care for your Better Extractor kit. And 4, extraction tips. Number 1, setup. Let's first cover how to set up your Better Extractor kit so you can get right to tackling those nasty stains. Let's go over the contents in the actual Better Extractor kit. You'll notice you have an extractor head that's constructed out of industrial grade stainless steel, brass, and acrylic PVC. You'll also notice you have a 10-foot vacuum hose. Now, depending on what you ordered, you may have a 25-foot or a 50-foot reinforced PVC waterline that has a brass quick disconnect and a 3/4 inch female connector. You should also have 2 Velcro straps in your kit. Now, the first thing we need to do to set up the Better Extractor is to prepare our wet, dry shop vac to extract liquid. So we need to open up our shop vac and remove the dry filter. If you were to leave this in, you would suck up water and it would get all soggy and destroyed. Now, in order to keep your shop vacuum's warranty intact, most manufacturers require you, when sucking up water, to use their designated wet-dry filter. These filters are usually foam-based and oftentimes are just foam sleeves. Now, most shop vacs come with these filters. If you don't have one, a quick internet search for your model should lead you to one that fits your machine. Once your wet filter is installed, we can assemble our Better Extractor head. To attach the extractor head to the vacuum hose, you'll screw it on counterclockwise. Then you'll take the other end of the hose and plug it into your shop vac's inlet port. Now, the friction adapter in your kit is designed to work with any standard 2.5 inch inlet port on a shop vac. Now, depending on the vacuum you have, the locking tab is going to either click into place and lock, or you'll just push the adapter in and it will be held in place by friction. Once you have the vacuum hose assembled and connected, you can connect your water line. Take the quick disconnect brass side of the water line and pull back on the collar of the quick disconnect and insert the brass male end from your extractor handle. You have to make sure that you pull the collar back the entire way and that you've properly seated it for it to be locked in place. If you don't do this, water is not going to flow through the hose when you pull the trigger. Now you can connect your water line to its water source. The water line is designed to fit any standard 3/4 inch spigot on a home or portable reservoir tank. If you're wanting to connect it to an indoor sink, you need to purchase a 3/4 inch male-to-male faucet adapter aerator. These adapters allow you to connect a 3/4 inch female garden hose fitting to your faucet. You can use the Velcro straps in your kit to secure the brass fittings and a portion of the water line to the vacuum hose. That way they aren't getting in the way when you're extracting. Once you're all connected, you're ready to begin extracting. You simply just need to squeeze the trigger on your extractor handle and water is going to spray out. Now, when you're ready to disconnect and pack up your extractor, always turn off the water source and squeeze the trigger to release water pressure in the hose before disconnecting. This way water doesn't spray everywhere when you disconnect it. Let's go over some quick troubleshooting tips in case you run into any issues. The 4 most common questions we receive are: 1, my nozzle isn't spraying any water. 2, my water line is leaking. 3, what's inside my extractor head? And 4, what do I do if there is damage? Number 1, the first thing to check, and this one seems very obvious, but make sure your faucet is turned on and actually supplying water. Now, number 2, make sure the female brass disconnect is firmly connected to the brass male end from your extractor handle. Now, sometimes people don't properly pull back the collar and seat them. If they're not properly seated, then the nip on the male end is unable to depress and therefore won't allow water to flow. Number 3, check to see if the trigger pin in the extractor handle depresses when you squeeze the trigger. Number 4, if you've done all the previous steps and water still won't come out, no worries. The extractor head is a relatively simple mechanical piece that doesn't have many moving parts. More than likely, mineral deposits or a piece of sediment or debris are clogging the fine sprayer tip, creating a minor blockage. This can happen because a piece of debris has been introduced into the line via your faucet or when connecting the quick disconnects. All you need to do is grab a sewing needle or a toothpick to stick it into the nozzle tip to break free any blockage. Now, you can also use a soft brush like a nylon brush or a brass brush to brush the nozzle tip, or even a toothbrush will work. Number 5, if the debris still will not dislodge, you can use a 13mm wrench to unscrew the brass spray nozzle to clear any debris stuck in the tip. Once the tip is removed, squeeze the handle to verify that water is in fact coming out of the water line. Now, once cleared, screw the brass nozzle back on, ensuring the tip is horizontal for a horizontal spray pattern. Now, if none of the above suggestions work, you can email us at contact@ripclean.com and our team will help you get things resolved. My water line is leaking. If water is leaking from your spigot adapter, you'll want to check to make sure your rubber washer is in the adapter and completely intact. A missing, broken, or misaligned washer will result in an improper seal, which is going to result in leaks. If you notice leaking, unscrew your adapter and make sure the washer is seated properly and centered. Slowly screw your faucet adapter on and be careful not to over tighten because it may tear or actually crush the washer, resulting in an improper seal. Now, some faucet threads may be damaged and may require plumbing tape in order to obtain a perfect seal. What's inside my extractor head? If you find what looks to be debris inside your extractor head when you open up your kit or the shaft of your extractor, no worries. We randomly select extractor heads from our production line for quality control testing. And sometimes tiny particles from the manufacturing process aren't fully flushed out. My Better Extractor is damaged. If your item arrives damaged, we've got a no worries policy. All you need to do is send us a picture of the damage to contact@ripclean.com along with an explanation of the damage you observed, and we'll send you a replacement piece. In some cases, we'll actually ship you a prepaid label to send the damaged piece back to us. How to care for your Better Extractor kit. If you take care of your Better Extractor kit, it will take care of you and all your stain removal needs for years to come. I've got just 3 simple tips for you. Tip number 1, clean out your Better Extractor hose after each use. Now, after an extractor session of sucking up nasty fabric or upholstery, you'll want to clean out your extractor head and your vacuum hose to avoid bacteria growth or any foul odors from forming in your hose. Now, to do this, simply fill up a bucket with some water, turn on your vacuum, and shove the extractor head in the water. Now, as it sucks up the water, it's going to clean the hose. You can even add a little dash of soap to the bucket of water. Now, alternatively, you can stick a garden hose into the back end of the hose and run water through it. You can also add a squirt of soap into the hose as well and then rinse. Tip 2, keep your brass quick disconnects clear. Now, make sure before connecting the brass quick disconnects that there's no debris inside the couplings. Now, if debris is introduced into the water line, it's going to possibly create a blockage once it reaches the fine sprayer tip. You'll also want to inspect the faucet to make sure mineral deposits or buildup won't fall into your water line when you connect it. Tip number 3, clean your spray tip periodically. Now, if you live in a location with hard water, you'll need to make sure mineral deposits aren't building up on your spray tip. After periodic use, mineral deposits can potentially build up, creating blockages, much like your shower head in your home can become blocked. Now, stay on top of any mineral buildup by cleaning your nozzle sprayer using a needle, or you can use a brass brush, nylon brush, or even an old toothbrush to brush the tip. Now you know how to set up, troubleshoot, and take care of your Better Extractor kit. Now, if you haven't already, check out our carpet thrasher soap so that you can pair that with your Better Extractor kit. And pick up a carrying storage strap to keep your kit nice and organized. Now, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to the Ripclean crew. We're excited for you to harness the power of your shop vac. And from me and the entire team, welcome to the Ripclean family. Please take a minute to leave us a product review either on our website or on Amazon.